Thank you very much for accepting our invitation of IGU Young and Early Career Geographers for Geography and Sustainability Working Group to support us for organizing this year's GeoNight event called Publishing Geography Today, Open Access, Inequalities, and the Future of Scientific Writing, which will be a series of interviews with IGU professors and officials. We are very honored to have you in our interview. Thank you very
Yeah, the question is very valid. If I see in my department or the department, the people those are working here in India and also the nearby countries, I see very less publication coming from field-based geographers. Mostly the good journals are expecting a very complex methodological analysis and the results, and also they are looking for a broader picture, like if I am doing a place based research concentrating on a small area, maybe my work will not get that much of the popularity if I am working on a regional scale or a global scale. So scale is very important nowadays, and I have seen so many publications coming from good journals. Those are of a very broad region. So regional and global scale, a generalized work where the complex analysis has taken place with the complex data sets, big data sets, and also with the open data sets and using open platforms, open software, and all are coming. I see here the role of quantitative revolution in geography. After this quantitative revolution and coming off with the GIS and remote sensing data sets, these things has revolutionized some of the sub-disciplines of geography, and they have the leverage, they have advantage if they are working with these data sets, using the models and all, and trying to i- i- create an in situ of that model, but still depending on large scale data sets prepared by various generalization techniques, interpolation techniques. So exactly not fitting to the place based requirement or not very much suitable for a small scale study. But the field work is a very essential thing or the core thing in geography, and we try to promote the field research, but definitely the longitudinal research, field-based longitudinal research outcomes are somehow being marginalized. In geography, we go for looking into location, we go for looking into place, space, and the pattern which are coming out of it. So the place-based research has remained a very core part of our understanding. But because of these global data sets coming in a large number and global models are there, uh, cloud platforms are there, they are using algorithm to come out with these results, and uh, people are understanding them, learning them, making their skills upgraded, and they are now analyzing all those things. And journals are also expecting those complex things. But the main problem or the main thing behind all these type of research is the present system of research assessment methods for career growth. This research assessment method is also quite quantitative in nature. If you are publishing in a very high impact factor journals, you are getting a good promotion in your career. If you are publishing in a mediocre or low profile journals, maybe you have to compromise with your career growth. So, and the journals are basically uh, getting, benefit from this type of ecosystem which has been created. So you are very much right that the present scenario is such that we are now going to more with the generalized, studies rather than focusing on a very place-based study or location-based studies. While this generalization also comes from this location or the place, because the place and location gives the pattern which all these models and are going to come out. So we try to we try to see them these patterns, identify the pattern, and looking into the pattern from the past and present, we go for forecasting the future scenario. But yeah, heavy data driven, heavy methodological driven, complex methodological driven, approach are nowadays very much popular, and they are getting good space in all these publication domain. Thank you so much. I was expecting this question because uh, the purpose, the main, value system of this open access is coming from the open science initiative of UNESCO. And the open science, the purpose of the open science was to uh, keep the knowledge open in public domain so that more proliferation can take place, more the new innovation can reach to the people very fast. Uh, the area those are lagging behind also, they can get benefit from the knowledge being generated from the global north and coming to the global south and vice versa. But the problems came when we started publishing open access, but we created a system where we started coming for article processing charge, APC. I see this is the main culprit of all the core value which was attached with this open science and open access in publishing is somehow being compromised because of this article publication charge. And for Global South, because I represent the Global South, the research scholars from India, research scholars from Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, and neighboring Sri Lanka, and so many other countries, neighboring countries, they face this problem very severely. We are not economically equal to the global north. So global north have a specific grants or funds for supporting the APC. We don't have that specific grant or fund always available to support APC for our publication. And it is very much clear from the global publication that the countries, those has invested more into the APC, they are now in a very high rank in global publication, ranking. So, like recently, the China has come out with this. They are promoting this open science, open access, giving APC to their research scholars, and so the publication has gone very. Number of publication has gone very high in China in recent 10 years or 15 years. But the countries, those are still struggling with so many things, and are not very much coming out with this. Publication support type of grant. They have the grant for research, but there is no publication support grant attached with that research grant. So you can utilize those grants for other purposes like doing the field work, collecting the data and all. But when we submit the article for publication, we face the severe problems. And we try to request several times to the editor and to the journal that for the waiver, but they are also opposing this thing like because of the cost associated with the running of the journal and all, they cannot give the waiver and all these things. So here the again the problem is still like the gap between the global north and south, east and west are still existing. We haven't we around 20-25 years from now we started this open access publication and open science and all, which has come to in a big way in our country also. But the main problem is this APC. As I have told you, this ecosystem of publication is so much lopsided uh, to a certain part of the world that still this gap is existing, and we have to come out with some model where uh, the government can promote or the university can promote at their own scale to support the APC. Some of the initiative has been taken by my government also, like one nation one subscription scheme has come up by the government of India, and they have identified some journals where if my articles are being accepted for publication directly from the government of India, the APC will be given to the journal from that scheme. My University of Delhi, also gives some partial support for open access publication, but still that partial support is not sufficient to cater the need of large amount of money these open access publishing houses are asking for from us. The solution behind this is like we always talk about the pooling of resources, creating a hub, but we never go for practically implementing those things. If the big journal houses can pool resources together, can use cloud platforms together, can use a staff and their resources. They can share their staff and resources. They can minimize the cost to a larger extent. And then they can promote, or from that money, they can support the global South scholars to promote for more, good work. We have good research scholars. They do good work, but every time we are struggling with this model of, APC. And because we try to see try to adopt to the global uh, working style, or we can say that the research evaluation system. So the government of India and the others has implemented those schemes like a promotion completely based on impact factor publication, number of articles published in a Scopus journals or SCI index journals. But how to publish, like how to get this funds support is not available here. So it's this is a big contradiction. Like we are implementing the policies directly from taking from somewhere else. For it's completely quantitative one, but we haven't created the basic environment or the infrastructure to support that type of evaluation system. So, my humble submission will be that if this open access publication has to go, uh, this should come more and more journals should come under uh, different societies. Okay, so society, I see that the journals those are being supported by some societies or universities. They don't charge for publication, but are they going to be recognized for the promotion or the career advancement? This is the big question. Because when I go to submit my article in a local journal, I don't think so. They are going to value it. Maybe my work is quite good and quite contributing for societal benefits. But still, because it is not enrolled in a Scopus index system, it is not there in SCI index system, they don't consider it for promotion and all. So this is the imbalancing situation we are facing here, and we have to come out with some solution, looking into creating more good space, infrastructure, and fund support for APC if the APC model is going to exist for long. Otherwise, in my opinion, gradually we have to remove this APC system, and there should be some global consensus or global system where the government or different governments or nations can join hand together to support the APC to run those journals, big houses, general houses. You know, in developing countries, many university departments or maybe we have a system of like in India, we have a central university and we have a state university. Somehow the condition of research infrastructure in central university or some of the research organization are moderately good. But when we talk about the state university, the conditions are not very good. Funding is very limited and they are very much compromised with the infrastructure support which they should get from the university side. This is the one aspect, like uh, accessibility to the even a basic instrument like laptop, which is now a since essential component of research. If anyone working in remote sensing and GIS field, from personal financial support, it is in the rural areas it's not very much possible for a student to finance and purchase the laptop, high configuration laptop for doing analysis and all. This is one aspect that pushing the students to go more for qualitative type of study, to do qualitative assessment, to do qualitative study. And the second aspect which I see here is that when we see the global publication in the field of geography, as I have told you that it is completely lopsided. Some of the sub-disciplines are quite good because they are working on data, and data is now a resources, so they have the accessibility of good open access data and all, so they are they are doing good publication, but they are struggling with upskilling themselves. This is another issue. Our curriculum for for secondary and upper secondary school curriculum is not so much designed to look all these aspects, that when they are completing their plus two, they are going to do undergraduate, and then after undergraduate they have to go for research and all. And when they come for the research, they suddenly they are exposed with this machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, Geo AI, and all sorts of modeling softwares. But they hardly have any knowledge during their undergraduate studies. Or nowadays, we have revised our syllabus. Every university is revising the syllabus gradually and keeping like remote sensing and GIS, but still some of the advanced studies which they should have the knowledge in undergraduate are missing. And so when they join their research and they come for the coursework, uh, PhD coursework, the doctoral coursework, they face this problem to choose how to start with the work, how to navigate with this type of problems. And in one side, the infrastructure is not supportive because we don't have very high configured computers to run big data sets, to do good big analysis and all these things. And the other side, that they don't have the knowledge or the skill So they are always struggling. Yes, yes, you are right. All international journals are working in the English language. And this is, we can see it in a two-way, that if we have to disseminate our findings, our results in the global community, then you have to publish into these English journals and they can reach to the larger audience very fast. This is one aspect, that it is going to promote the open science in a big way. And I see the role of English in a good way, that everyone can communicate easily. And it has been uh, already known as a lingua franca. And this is being reflected in the writings also. So all the articles which are being published in this open access platform, journals like Elsewhere or Springer or any others, are they have quite they are publishing in English. And when we submit, but in another way, we see it as a disadvantage for non-native English speaking people. So non-native English research scholars, when they do their research, they have to give quite a long time in refining their writings. Maybe they are writing in their regional language first, the article, and then they are converting it into the English. I have seen so many my Chinese colleagues. They first uh, do the research, write in English, write in Mandarin, and then they convert it into English. So they are in they are putting lots of effort and time also to do this task, to complete this task, so that they can publish it into the good international journals. Uh, the reputed international journals, when we submit the work, they have made some criteria like 30-40 criteria, and they check your articles, that your article is meeting to those criteria or not. And one among those criteria is uh, your good writing skills in English language. So if you haven't expressed your work in a better way in English, they are outrightly rejecting your work and they are sending back that improve your English first. So this is a very stressful situation for a young scientist or research scholars, those who has come from a village background and did their whole study until undergraduate into their local language. And you are very much right that our subject is very much place centered, very much location centered, culture centered. So if I am born and brought up in a culture which is different from this global one, the we are we did our study till 12th standard in our Hindi language. And when I came to the undergraduate, doing undergraduate in Delhi University, I did, we had the choice to do either in English or Hindi, because I was comfortable in expressing my views in Hindi. I choose to be in Hindi. So I was writing Hindi, my answer sheets and all, and I was reading and writing in Hindi. I could express my understanding in a better way in my regional language. But when I converted it from Hindi to English, because there is no international growth or academic growth unless until you do a minimal, mastering of the language. So unless until you are not good in writing, better your understanding, your output, your analysis or results into the English, reflecting your views, opinion in English, you are not going to get opportunity to publish in good academic journals. And it is not only the international one, but also the national journals are also asking uh, to have your writing in English. But I see, okay, I publish my article after doing all this rigorous work. I publish my article, but where is my work situated? My work is situated in my locality. I publish my article in international journal. When it get reflected, suddenly the local newspaper people are approaching me. Oh, you have done a good work, and we have to make a news so that your findings will reach to the community. Again, what I am doing, I am again converting my findings from English to Hindi so that it can be reflected into the Hindi newspaper, which is more accessible into my community, and my community people can understand that language in a better way. That many people are not reading the English newspaper daily, they are reading the Hindi newspaper. So I have to convert it into a simpler language in Hindi, and then they are publishing it as a newspaper in the newspaper, giving that a space so that it can go to global community. So what we are doing, we are just wasting our time so much in doing this type of activities. Why? Because my local journals are not local journals are not given good academic ranking, and that is why I have to look into that global journals. Those have good academic ranking, so that if I will publish in those academic journals, I will get more point in my academic career evaluation scheme. So the main culprit here is, I see somehow all those things are roaming around this whole quantitative career, academic and research career assessment scheme, which we should focus. We have to seriously think about all those components. Maybe a little away from your topic, but I'm making a YouTube video on my regional language for my students, and they are learning using my YouTube, the lecture. But where it falls into the evaluation system? My YouTube video is not under the evaluation system, but I did lots of you know preparation to record 1 hour or half an hour talk, and maybe the whole series, or maybe a whole course, which is freely available on YouTube platform, but nobody is recognizing my work. I am managing a website of my university. This is my also another task which I am doing regularly, but where it falls under the academic and research evaluation scheme, there is no point, there is no recognition for that type of work. So we have to seriously look into these types of things, and these are the things which generally in any academic community, any society, any department, these are the things which remain in the hand of young and early career scientists, because they are termed as fluent or knowledge. They have good knowledge of you know tools and techniques, the recent tools and the technology. They are close to the technology, so all these things are with them, and they are very much good for making the video, recording the videos, recording the tutorial, recording all those things. But this should also come into our evaluation system. This is not there in the framework, so we have to seriously look into all these those aspects, and not only in English but regional languages. Some of the IIT, Indian Institute of Technologies, they have come out with this initiative, like they are recording GIS courses in all 14 languages which are being used as per the Constitution of India. Here we have 14 regional languages which they are recording and placing it on their open access platform, so that any person can understand easily. Maybe from north part of the India, south part of the India, east part of the India, or whatever the language they have, they prefer to, they can study and they can learn and they can upskill this thing. So this type of academic atmosphere has to be promoted in every countries, everywhere, so that, and also the regional, journals or regional academic institutions, those are coming out with this type of journals, has to give the credit if they are publishing good research work. If they are focusing and publishing with rigorous review process, good research work, they should also come under the ambient of, academic credentials. And then the local people can reflect their ideas, reflect their view in their local language in a better way. This can be a solution. So if young,
Yeah.
it's from my side, if it is like an advice or a suggestion that if you have to go for a publication in open access or in subscription mode or anywhere, you try to find the journals where your works fit best and not running behind the impact factor. Geography, a good geography serves place and people and not to the journals. So we have to keep in our mind. The second thing is that the good geography needs time, attention, and care. So we have to follow these things. Like we have to give more time to do longitudinal studies, understanding the things in a better way, and then come out with good findings, good solutions. The another component is that the journal prestige is a poor proxy. So you don't rush your research are very valuable component. So you value to your research and not to the very image of the journals, like very high impact or like this one. And for young and early career researchers, their well-being are more important than their publication list. So I have seen some cases that the students are such in a stressful situation when they have to submit their findings or PhD work, and because of the criteria and all, they don't have three or four Scopus journal publication, and still they are in queue and struggling with the review process, and they are in a situation they don't know that the journals are going to accept it or not, and they go in depression in extreme cases and all. So don't go to that level. You understand your capabilities and all these things, and keep balance between the health and your achievement or publication and whatever we can see. Your health is very important component for young and early career geographer. And as I see, we have also gone by this process. Rejection is normal. Keep it in mind. So this is not a verdict on your work. Rejection doesn't mean that your work is of inferior quality. You can get better journal and they can accept your work. And there are so many things involved in this process. Maybe that the editor has not looked your work in a full length, or you can say in a good way, or maybe the reviewer did not concentrated on evaluating the work or giving the time to evaluate the work. And in this way, something has some negative comments or some negative decision has been passed for your work. So don't take that rejection normal, and this is not uh, the verdict on your work. And another thing is that the publication is human made system. This publishing is the human made system. It is not a natural law. So don't be worry much about the things, and try to come out with the original idea. Try to come out with some good books also. I have seen like in last 10, 15, 20 years, good authentic book for undergraduate students are not coming. The people are not preferring to write the authentic books for undergraduate students because they are not going to get more point for writing a book. They are going to get more point for publishing in an impact factor journal. So they are not wasting, or it's like they are not giving much time to write a book. But this is very important because you are contributing to the subject domain. You are contributing to the basic knowledge system, the conceptual part of the subject, the theoretical part of the subject. These are the some of the things which we have to balance. And I try to uh, give from my side to our young and early career geographer this view that you balance between the writing of books also, monographs and all, and also contributing with your articles so that you can balance both and you can get your academic profile by being in this evaluation system and also contributing to the subject domain.